What's going on, y'all? Back at it again, another video. More specifically, a product review video. It does pertain to the budget build, something that I've talked about doing, about replacing the stock Hitachi carburetor with a Toyota 3K. And I wanted to do something a little bit different as far as like deviating from the budget build itself. Instead of taking this Toyota 3K carb and setting it all up kind of backyard, kind of mechanic, we're gonna make it work, we're gonna figure it out, try to make it work however we can. I was on eBay and I saw that there's a kit to adapt this 3K carb to the Suzuki Samurai. I just thought, that would probably be like a really big allure for people. I mean, you know, if you buy a Weber carb, there's a kit that you get with a Weber carb to adapt it to a Suzuki Samurai 1.3 liter. The CV carb, there's a kit, to adapt the CV carb to your own 1.3 liter. Me doing a video on how to adapt this 3K carb, those people are going to be able to figure it out on their own. I don't really think that it would really be necessary. Those people are probably really resourceful. Not saying that the people that, don't want to go that route aren't resourceful. I mean, if you own a Suzuki Samurai, let's be honest, you're pretty resourceful. I mean, it just kind of comes with the territory. But let's say that your Suzuki Samurai is your daily driver, or you just don't have a lot of downtime to go about sourcing all the parts, building a bracket, or you don't have the tools, you don't have the environment to do it. So there's a guy on eBay. He's actually on Facebook in the Suzuki Samurai 2.0 Facebook page. His name is Gary Scantlin, if I pronounced it correctly, I hope so. Him and a buddy have gone ahead and made a kit to take out all the guesswork. From what I'd seen on the eBay post or product page, they give you a fuel line fitting to go in here, they give you some fuel hose, they give you some vacuum plugs, they give you a new thermal spacer, gaskets. From the way it seems like it would have everything that you would need in the kit to do it. I didn't see anything about a choke cable, but I have the package right here in front of me, so let's see everything that comes in the kit. Let's see the quality of the kit. Let's see if it's actually something that might just, make this swap like a 10 or 15 minute job. Alright, y'all, first person shooter action here. So it comes in a small flat rate box. I've already opened it, but it's all taped up really nice. That probably saves them a lot on shipping. And if I'm not mistaken, they do free shipping. So this is probably what makes it pretty cost effective. But we open the box. Ooh, a choke cable. How nifty. That's good. That was one of the things I didn't think they came with. So somebody, I know a lot of people that would ask questions, well, what length choke cable do I need? But it looks like they've already gone ahead and taken care of that bit of guesswork out for you. What we got? We got a bill. Let's see. We have, this must be the adapter for adapting the stock air cleaner to it. Thermal spacer, 2 gaskets, vacuum plugs. Oh man, an EGR block off plate. Man, that's cool. I know half the time you gotta do all these kits where you are, putting a CV carb, or if you wanna do the Harley Davidson, you always have to get this after the fact. That's pretty cool. It comes in the kit. This is actually like usable to a whole bunch of other kits. Let's see, we have some hose clamps, some screws, and a little barb fitting. And then we have some fuel line. Tygon, oh man, that's awesome. This is actually like really good fuel hose. Just to let y'all know, Tygon is pretty much completely impervious to chemicals and corrosives. When I worked on motorcycles and I used to ride, I would actually swap out the rubber hose from the master cylinder or from the brake fluid reservoir to the master cylinder with a Tygon hose. You could do like clear hoses so you could see the different fluids. I would always do like this cool blue fluid because I had a blue bike, so it was something I did. Oh, and they have a bracket for the throttle cable. That's something I've seen a lot of people have got to get pretty inventive with. So let's lay all this stuff out. Let's get all this stuff out and let's take a look. All right. So the first thing that I can tell you from everything being laid out here, this is a complete kit. It is 100% complete. There is nothing else that you need to buy. I mean, even these gaskets, I thought he would just give you some like just OEM gaskets that you would have to make work, but these are completely new, like they made them. Let's see. Yep, look at that too. Something that if y'all didn't know about the stock Hitachi carburetor and the 3K, the biggest difference is the size of the primaries. So your primary, upside down. The primary is the first one to open. This is what you primarily run on. And then whenever you want to go like wide open, see that second one opening up? That's your secondary. So if you notice on the Hitachi, the primary is smaller than the primary on the 3K. The way this actually is, the Hitachi is like a 26mm primary and a 28mm secondary, but the 3K is a 28mm primary and a 28mm secondary, so more air, more fuel with the 3K. So one of the biggest things that people have to do is with their thermal spacer, their stock thermal spacer, is you have a 26 and you have a 28. Well, you have to grind out the smaller primary so that way it will fit on the larger primary on this. And your placement's a little bit different. Wow, yeah, that's good. That's actually like proper ported. How nifty. This is different just because the placement of the port itself. Really no different than this though. Oh, I think this is bigger. I don't know. I could be mistaken on the size of the primary. I don't have my mic, so I can't mic it up to tell you specifically. But, well, that gasket's spot on. Let's see this. Yeah. Yeah. It wouldn't go on like that. There's a step. And I'm assuming this cutaway, it would go like that. Yeah, and it's smooth. Probably just the placement of the ports. I mean, this kit, there are so many variations of the 3K carb that are out there, and he does specifically list which one you need to get. And I actually ordered the one of the ones that he specified. So these gaskets are actually proper gaskets, and you can see one's larger than the other. So this one's gonna go on the carburetor, thermal spacing, this cutaway is gonna go up, and then this one will go on here. So that's pretty self-explanatory. He does give you instructions too. Although my kit, I don't have any instructions in it, but I don't need them. Probably figure this out just fine on my own, but he does give you instructions, and I've talked to a few people and they said the instructions are pretty specific. There's a lot of them, there's pictures, everything. That's pretty cool. He gives you some Tygon. Get this. Let's see, this bracket, the way people do this is here's your float bowl, they put it on the back side towards the firewall. So this bracket will go right here. Yeah, that's what's up. That lines up spot on. That is nice. And if you look, that puts you right in line with that throttle linkage. Everybody I've seen, it's always kind of like somewhere else. You know, it's good enough. It's usually the way it works. This is nice. This is a piece of billet aluminum that's been machined, this EGR block-off plate, and it comes with an actual proper gasket. So that's what these bolts are for. Cool. Gives you hardware for the EGR block-off plate. And this, this is interesting. I wonder what this is for. Let's see. This is your choke. See? There's your choke. Normally open. You shut it. Half choke, full choke. So the carburetor already has a screw set to lock down on this cable. Which is, yeah, just a simple cable. It's got a notch away, that's nice. This thing's pretty, oh, damn! Woo. Get hit by the bullwhip over here. This is a proper clutch cable too, it's pretty robust. You can just drill yourself a hole, thread it through, put the nut all the way on. This would be easy to install. Ah, now this right here is something that I was very interested in from pictures on the eBay product page. So, this fuel inlet, it's very interesting. So the thread pitch is an M10 by 1.0, super fine. It's actually like, you really have a hard time trying to find that thread pitch on that diameter. And that's because it's a brake fitting. If you look inside there too, you can actually see that brass flare that's on a brake line. If you actually source this, you have to get like a brake line adapter and then use a hard line cutting wheel thing. It's like for cutting hard line, but you got to cut it and then you just slide a tube over it. You don't have any sort of knurling for the hose to get caught on. But see, look at this. This is something that they must have machined themselves out of brass, you know, because it's tapered, it's the fine thread, it's got an O-ring. It's got a machined groove, look at that, it's got a machined groove to hold the O-ring in place too. That's actually like really nice attention to detail. And it's a hose bar. Look at that. It actually bottoms out on the seat before the O-ring gets there. That's probably there in case there's different types of these fittings, because I'm pretty sure you could get one of these without that flare. So the only way you'd be able to seal it is like an orb fitting with this O-ring. So in my case, this tapered end is sealing on that edge, so it won't leak. That's nice. It's a nice tight fit. This allows you to use the stock air cleaner. Let me go get one. I have one. So this diameter is completely different than this diameter. See, so here is your sealing area for the stock intake, and you put it on and it doesn't move, it bites down. And you come over here to this one and you put it on there. I think the biggest problem actually is, so this is the back, this is the front. You put this on here, I think it actually does fit. Does it fit? Can I get it to fit? Can I get it on there? It's a little bit loose, but the biggest problem is this right here sits above this mating surface. So if you look, you try to put this on, see the problem you run into? The choke linkage is in the way. You can't get this on. So this spacer, let's see, we have a gasket. Put that down. And then you have this. Look at that machine. This thing's made out of billet aluminum too. And it actually sits right in there in a groove. How nice is that? All right, and that raises it. And then, voila! Look at that. No modification needed to your air cleaner. A lot of guys, what they do is they have to cut this off and they've got to dent it. They have to dent the air cleaner to get it on. So this right here, no need to dent it. Wow. It's a lot of forethought, man, especially for a piece so nice. Tygon tubing with some clamps. I mean, Tygon, just to let y'all know, it's not cheap whatsoever. I mean, when I would buy it, good God, to get a foot was like $10. Something like that. Well, these clamps are hard as hell. But that's good. That means they're gonna keep it on there. They're so freaking hard to use. It also doesn't help I'm not using proper freaking pliers. Okay, there we go. That's not coming off. Now, this must be for the vacuum advance because that's pretty much how it's gonna go into the mechanical fuel pump. Like it's right there, it's right proper close. So you have that, and then here's for your vacuum advance. And then here's all your vacuum plugs for everything you have to seal off on the intake manifold. And this bracket's really nice. Comes bare metal, not a big deal, not really hard to get painted or powder coated. I really like this though. This right here is just, that is nice. That is really nice. Oh, I'm forgetting something like completely for this kit. Here it is, this too. God, I feel silly. So this right here is super important because this threaded piece in here, this is not the same size as this. You cannot reuse this. So they give you a piece that you can put down in here. And he has a nylon locked piece. I'm assuming that is preset so that way you don't, oh, well, I might have assumed incorrectly. Well, no, maybe it took, it needs to go down a little bit more. But that right there will prevent you from sucking that, you won't suck this down too far. Like this, you could suck it down too far. I've already run into that kind of an issue with my Hitachi. Look at that. I think they glued the gasket on the washer. That's awesome. That's like really big attention to detail. There we go. Drop that on there. Here's your wing nut. And that part doesn't even interfere with the choke linkage. This is a very, very nice kit. I was a little skeptical at first because of the price of the kit, but now that I actually have my hands on it and I can see it, I can see how they can charge $100 for it. I mean, first off, buying one of these is like, I don't know, $50, $40, $45. So, I mean, half, you know, getting this on its own, you know? So, I mean, there's half the value of the kit. New gaskets, vacuum plugs, Tygon hose, which I know is not cheap. They give you a bracket that's actually proper made and bent, you know, in a press brake. They give you all this, all these gaskets, billet aluminum parts. This actual fitting, which everybody knows fittings are not cheap. But this right here, I mean, this is, they made this. They made this on like a CNC machine, not made of metal, but it's not supposed to be made out of metal. It's a thermal sort of material. It doesn't, from what my understanding, this doesn't expand. You know, if this was made out of aluminum, aluminum expands double the rate of steel. So, you know, it would sit on your intake and it would expand so much that it would stretch it out and you would get a vacuum leak. you know, so this is made out of a material that doesn't expand, some sort of thermoplastic that just doesn't expand like metal does, or even regular plastic. And then they've machined it out right here. Yep, that machined part goes on the primary side. Yeah. I mean, you can line it up too. You can see this groove right here and this groove right here. For $165, you can get a carburetor and a kit. That is half the value of a Weber. And we all know that Webers wash out the cylinders. Some people have not had problems with them, but I know, I can tell you from firsthand experience, they do not like any sort of incline. They're good for street use only. Well guys, I know that normally whenever I do like a product review, I do like a product review and I do an installation. I'm not doing the installation because of the plans that I have for the budget build. All the different induction systems that I want to go about doing, I really want to put dyno numbers out there. It's not something that anybody does, probably because it's a Samurai. So I am going to hold off on putting this kit on. I just wanted to get the knowledge of the kit out there. You know, I wanted to get my hands on this kit. I wanted to actually see it, you know. Pictures on eBay, that doesn't tell you anything. I mean, there were no pictures on the ad of this choke cable. This right here, I could already tell you, this is like half the value of the kit if you were to buy this by itself, this one little piece. You know, not to mention this nice aluminum ring that's all machined for the air cleaner spacer. Nice bracket, this barb fitting, which does not exist. You have to get a brake line fitting to make this work. So you can't buy just this. I've looked and looked and looked, you know, thinking maybe they just like sourced this whole kit together. No, they've made a lot of it. Thermal spacer, this, they make this, they make the air cleaner spacer, you know, they're making a lot of this stuff. So very, very high quality kit. Definitely would make this installation like a 15-minute installation. I mean, I'll show y'all probably like with a timer or something. I'll figure some sort of way whenever I do install this, just to do unedited run, just boop. That way you guys can see like a start and a finish, how long this takes, but I'm pretty sure it's like 15-20 minutes. But I want to thank y'all for watching this product review of the 3K Carb installation kit. I'll leave a link in the description of the eBay product page, so that way you guys can go and you guys can check it out yourself, order it if it's something that you're interested in. But like always, if this was content that you enjoyed watching, be sure to smash that like button. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so that way you can see what I've got going on in one of 2 shops. And I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace. God, I really wish I knew what this screw was for.